t-shirt. Look at the back of this. Look how funky this is. It's so amazing. Oh, hi. My name is Stephen Rafferty, and you're watching These Are Questions. This is the internet show where I ask people questions about things, life, and such not. Today's guest is a talented broadcast journalist, creator, and filmmaker. Please welcome Mike Lynn.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Mike. Nice to meet you.
Many thanks. Thank you for having me on today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being a part of These Are Questions. I greatly appreciate it. Before we get into our interview, I need to explain the rules of These Are Questions.
Sure.
Mike, I'm going to ask you a series of questions that are going to be based around your career and aspirations, along with a mixture of questions that are borderline idiotic and, well, randomly stupid. Do you accept those terms?
I'm here for it.
Good. I'm glad you're here for it. So with that, Mike, are you ready?
Ready as I've ever been.
Okay. Oh, are you sure about that? You sure you're ready about that?
Potentially.
Oh no, we're having difficulties.
I'm new to this whole drinking water thing, and my glass just picked up my coaster.
Oh, okay. Drinking water is a very, very difficult thing to learn. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a while to get used to it because it just keep messing up.
It's an art.
It is an art. Drinking water is an art form. You heard it here on These Are Questions. Okay, so Mike, hopefully you're ready. Internet, are you ready? Yeah, I felt that. Definitely
Nice.
Ready.
I like that part too.
Same. That's why we keep it here. That's why we do it on every single episode of These Are Questions. Until we don't do the show anymore, which
Nice.
Who knows at this point? I don't know.
Never. 50 years worth of These Are Questions.
Oh God, that's a lot of questions. That's a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
My internal stress just intensified with that. Alrighty, with that, let's begin. So, Mike, we've known each other for quite a while now, and we've always said we always wanted to work together in some sort of project, but we just never really had the chance to do it until today. Oof, wild. For the viewers and listeners that are watching These Are Questions, can you formally introduce yourself to the audience?
Well, sure. Hi. My name's Mike Lynn, and I work over at Nova Southeastern University. I serve as the Assistant Director of Student Media, and I oversee our on-campus media departments. So we have an on-campus TV station, a newspaper, a radio station, and even a photography department made specifically to take headshots, cover events, things like that. But leading up until then, I have been pursuing broadcast journalism since about 2014. I am Adobe Premiere certified. I have done many a lecture series on how to do things in Adobe Premiere and all things broadcast journalism, covered a lot of events in undergrad at NSU. And I also served as station manager for the TV station in my undergrad as well.
Wow, great. Quite an extensive portfolio for yourself there. That's amazing. And I've had a little bit of a tour of the new studio and the new setup, and you guys are doing some great work over there. So I hope you were able to keep it up and help train up-and-coming journalists, up-and-coming photographers, up-and-coming video specialists and media specialists in their respective crafts, and just hopefully enlighten the youth, and also providing your expertise and knowledge there. So keep it up.
Much appreciated. It's I think it's a very rewarding job to have, being able to mentor and teach some of the staff where you're not wholeheartedly a professor in the traditional sense, and you're rather giving them a little bit of the holistic side of education, and you actually get to work with all these students and kind of gauge their interest and work with them as their boss more so than in the traditional classroom, so to speak.
Yeah, it kind of provides a unique and extensive experience, because I always say people that want to get into broadcast media, they want to get into video production or photography, for example, it's kind of a, I don't want to say out of the box, but it has its own unique traits and characteristics. And it's definitely not your traditional like 9 to 5 work. Yes, you have times where you're in an office space and you're doing maybe edits or doing, graphics or anything like in the between there, but you're on the field, you're out traveling, you're out visiting places, you're out experiencing different people, cultures, and you're creating your own works. So that's definitely very rewarding there. And people who want to get into it, I think you have a lot of fun with it, but also learning a lot about the craft and the art of doing each of these different broadcast fields.
Yeah, and you definitely said it. It is an art in the sense that between all three branches, you really get to see how a story can be spun to the modality that emphasizes that story. And for example, when you go over to the radio station and you try to think about how you can tell a story through just audio,
Mhm.
I mean, that's really interesting on how you can get people to really get moved by your story with just sounds and not using the visual mode. So,
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. It's kind of how we do with these questions. Yes, we have the video version, and I always say watch the video version because there's certain cues and certain things that we work with to make the episode as best as it can be. But using our voices and using using the audio feeds that we have, we're telling a separate story if you're not viewing the main video portion of it. And through our voice and through our dialects and what we do, we can go with the range of different emotions. I could be really happy and jovial right now, or I could be really sad right now, or I could be really angry right now. I can play with that and go into different emotions there and different dialects. Trust me, I'm not angry at you by any means. I'm just choosing as an example for those
had
that
me
are
worried.
listening. Yeah. Please don't be worried. Don't be worried. Please.
One of my one of my favorite bits to do is in real life, um, laughing with a straight face and going like ha 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 ha. And like for the people that don't get the visual mode, you really think like, okay, this guy's just doing a bit. But in person, you're like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
Why is there such a stark contrast?
But it works though. It gets people talking, and it's like, oh, that's different. That's unique. I don't necessarily understand per se, but okay, he's doing his own thing.
I think just from my time of like learning communication related things in undergrad and in my master's program,
Hmm.
um, you really learn like the effective ways on how to communicate and simple etiquette that you should have and things like that. But I think that if you're trying to be funny with your friends, you just kind of like break those conventions deliberately, and then they are like, "Oh, that's why would you do that? That's that's just funny or something." Like if you make direct eye contact with someone the entire time, they don't really like that.
No, they
But
don't.
but if you do it deliberately for a bit and you acknowledge it up front, then people are like, "Oh, you're just doing this um because you know you're not supposed to," kind of thing.
Right. It's blatant.
Mm.
Mhm. Definitely, definitely. And you touched up a little bit about journalism, and I wanted to go into my next question. I wanted to ask you, in one word, can you describe what journalism means to you?
Yeah, okay, so
One
when
word.
when I was given this question, I
Mhm.
was like, do are we talking like adjective or are we talking about like something synonymous? Because the first thing that came to mind was like archiving.
Okay.
Because if you you as a journalist do not go out of your way and try to cover a story, um, then the world will never have it. And that memory will be lost with the people that experienced it and never documented it. So it is your role as a journalist to tell the truth, to be honest with your audience, to get all sides of the story and have an even playing ground so everybody knows um, exactly what happened to the best of as many perspectives as you can, especially if they differ. Um, but not to the whole intent where one side overweighs the other either. So trying to be fair with it too.
That's a very good descriptor of journalism there. Archiving. That's a really really strong word for it. And it makes a lot of sense because now with not to kind of go on a tangent, but just to go with all these different social media platforms, for example, just using social media. Now you have on your phones, you can take photos and videos and detailed videos. Now people are documenting everything at an unprecedented pace.
Mhm.
So the idea of the term of archiving is getting greater and greater, and it's going to get even more greater as newer technologies and newer facets come in the future. We could be living in a future where you have like I know Google has like Google Glass, but like an enhanced version of it where it's just pinpointing, recording everything around you and the exact situation in that exact moment. So like it's pretty strong and it makes a lot of sense.
Oh, news is ridiculously fast now. I mean, people can really just send videos from their phone to whatever media outlet to get an inside story on something. Um, and if you watch like cable television and watch some of these local TV syndicates, you'll see a lot of footage that they use is from people sharing it through either social media or sending it directly from their phone to the news outlet, and they'll
Mhm.
cut to that feed type of thing or cut to that pre-recorded video.
Yeah,
But we
absolutely.
never had access to that until recently. Now it was just like in years prior, it was just like person sits at desk, I'm just gonna tell you what we heard, and you're gonna have to take our word for it. But
It's
man, they can it's just technology is crazy right now.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's pretty surreal. You've worked on a variety of different projects, and another set of projects that I do enjoy was when you were working more in depth with SUTV in the sense that you were doing various series. And one series that I really enjoyed was your 5 second clip series. Really enjoyed that there that you made with SUTV. I wanted to ask, can you tell me what truly makes a good 5 second clip?
So, um 5 second clips was something that I've seen. It's like a some sort of a shtick that I've seen for a long time. In the early era of YouTube, I guess there was a channel called like 5 second films,
Yeah, I
I
remember that.
think.
Yep, 5 second
Y-
films.
Yeah. So they were the ones that really kicked it off, and they had like their own genre and style. My high school media program was doing something very similar for a while,
Mhm.
where it was like 5 second shorts. And eventually I just thought like, okay, we really need to bring this over to NSU and bring like the same general story in a new light. And after seeing what 5 second shorts and clips have done in many different facets with many different editors and writers and stuff like that, you eventually find out what shticks work and which ones don't. And a lot of the time, uh, you just have to commit really hard to that bit that you're delivering. You need to make it as unexpected as possible. But the delivery still needs to be satisfying, even if it takes a complete left turn. Um, so the whole point is to keep your audience on their toes for the 5 seconds that you have them. Um, so I think what works really well is like visual gags. Um, so like there's this one I think about where it's like this guy's like, oh, let me get a high five, and this guy walks over with a big five on his face, and he comes in and intercepts the high five. Um, it's just it's stupid. It's a really dumb joke, and I think that there are bits in there that I don't know, like it was funny at the moment, and then it just kind of loses its touch. But at times it can be as simple as taking idioms and turning them into visual gags. Like um there's a bit where I do where I lose my marbles,
I
and then
remember
there's
this.
like a long shot and there's like a close up of a jar of marbles, and I'm just losing my mind way far in the distance. Things like that are quite funny. Am I getting interference? Is this doing a thing?
Is this part of the 5 second clip? Maybe this
No,
is.
no, I meant
Are you getting interference right now? I see
they're
someone fighting a person, so like
they're
maybe that's
tapping into
interference.
me.
They're
Nice.
tapping into it's the aliens. To answer, no, you're good.
Oh, good. Yeah, Aiden Rivas also is really good at all this stuff. I really liked working with him. Um, if there was any one person that was good at making artistic things and making things genuinely funny, it was always him, and he always had a great animation style out of it too. So,
He's very talented.
oh yeah, there was a bit that I think he was quite proud of where um I slipped one day and instead of saying the Dukes of Hazard, I said the Duke of Hazards, and he was like, I'm running with this and I'm going to make a visual bit of like this Archduke creating hazards for people and putting like thumbtacks on a chair, and he's like
I love that. Just a Duke just like giving different traps and like
yeah,
just like causing chaos.
that's that's exactly how what it was like to make those bits though, is that you just go around in circles and you'd say an offhand bit and you'd be like, all right, I'm writing this down for a later time and we'll just film this all in like a week. But in order to build up the amount of jokes to there, it's really just like documenting things that you say in the office as you just get like a creative idea. Like, wouldn't it be funny if blank? And then you execute it.
Mhm.
But it takes a lot to wrap it up in like 5 seconds, or dare I say six, when Vine was around,
Oh
that
yeah,
genre of humor.
yeah. Oh yeah, when Vine was a thing, absolutely. It's very difficult because it's like when you have like a 30-second commercial, you have to break everything down and everything. You have to make sure it's very tight. 5 seconds, you have to make it super tight. And like while you were talking, I came up with a 5 second clip that we could do right now. It's called rock paper scissors.
Oh yeah, sure.
And how it's going to work is that we're going to do rock paper scissors, and then the loser's going to disappear. Okay, so that's how it's going to go.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here we go. Here
Oh
we go.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, hold on.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh crap! Disappearing right now. Bye.
Got him. See, when you pitched the bit, I was expecting myself to lose, and I would have done something like this.
Yeah.
So that way it would have been like, oh, and then like something like that.
That would have worked too. We both technically disappeared, so it worked.
Exactly.
I'll make it fancy in the edit. We'll make it work. It'll be a 5 second clip. So we got it. We got it there. So let me ask you, Mike. My next question is, what's the most obscure restaurant hotspot that people should know about?
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna hit my table. Um, okay.
No pressure.
There's, oh man. Okay. So it depends on what you like, of course. Um, but I myself am a big fan of Southern barbecue, and there's this restaurant in Plantation that I really like called Georgia Pig.
Mm.
Um, that one is quite good. That place has been there since like the I don't know, had to be like the 50s, 60s, I think. And it's like a brick and mortar type of building, and it's all of their food is like it's a wood stove type of setup, and oh man, does everything just taste heavenly. It's worth it. It's worth giving them a visit and trying out their barbecue. I really like their pulled pork sandwiches quite a bit. Um, but if it's not that, I don't know. I don't know what else is around the area that people haven't heard of. Um, because if I refer you to no, okay, second one then. I'll do a
Okay.
twofer.
Ooh, a two for.
A
Okay.
twofer. So a lot of people know Jackson's
Yes, ice cream
as the
shop.
ice cream parlor. Yeah. There's another place that's a bit north of here called Cherry Smash. Um, and this was recommended by a buddy of mine named Mason. And we used to work at this on-campus shark cage business called the Sweet Spot, and he would make a bunch of milkshakes, and I would come in and help him out by making like uh soda from the ground up.
Oh
And
wow.
so he was like, "You gotta check this place out, this cherry smash place." And basically it is one of the only places around here that I think does an actual good job at making soda phosphates from the ground up, and having that old soda tradition stay alive. At least that's in close proximity
Yeah, of
to the
course.
area.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, I love that place. I recommend it. It's fantastic. It's like
oh
going
yeah,
into an old 50s style parlor back in the day, and they have all the cool lights coming in, and they have all they could you can get anything from ice cream to root beer floats to like banana cream sundaes and every or banana split sundaes. So like you can get anything. So
yeah.
uh highly recommend. I have to check out the barbecue place too. I don't know that place. So there you go. That was an obscure place I did not know. So I
That
will
one's
check
in
them.
Plantation.
I will check them out. Yeah, and then for reference, the Cherry Smash Place, their location is in Coral Springs. So
Yeah,
if you're in the area and want to check out those places, then check them out. We're not sponsored by them, but
no.
we'll represent when we get good food and good ice cream. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'll raise you and say, if there's a thing to try in general,
Hmm.
soda enthusiast, I would recommend this thing. It's called an egg cream.
Oh yeah. I've had it. That
Do
is
you know what
good.
an egg cream is?
It's like a well, I don't exactly know like the exact ingredients, but it like I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say like eggnoggy or anything like that necessarily, but it's like a oh, hmm. I'm gonna just put a description in the episode, and people can just be like, "This is what it means," because it's kind of hard to explain once you have it, you know. Uh,
I that was a thing that I would make a lot, but it's like such an obscure thing that a lot of people don't really know what it is, but that's the telltale way to gauge um if a soda parlor is doing it right. And basically what it is it's this old Yiddish kind of drink, derives from New York. And you'll have like a tall glass, right? And you'll fill just a small amount of whole milk. Um and you'll add a ton of chocolate syrup into the thing, and then you'll take a long spoon and basically pour seltzer all the way to the top, and you have to kind of like rock the spoon in such a way that you keep a white foam head at the top of the drink, and at the bottom you have like basically just straight chocolate milk, and it becomes a really nice and smooth drink if you do it right.
mhm.
If you have the right carbon, I think it's in the carbonation partially and the water that you're using. I've had them in New York, and those you can't touch them. Those are like whoa, so smooth.
I bet,
It's a
I
good
bet
time.
it's a good time. Definitely for people that are watching and listening, you need to try an egg cream like right away, right after this episode. Go try one. Go
Don't
find a good one.
think, do not think of it as carbonated chocolate milk, or it will turn you off. Um, because it isn't.
Let me ask you this, Mike. Do you like games?
Yes, I do like games.
Okay. Do you like cheese?
Depends what kind of cheese we talking.
The only cheese I want to talk about is my card game. No cheese, no coin.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. It's a card game for people who like cheese and money. So if you like
Okay,
cheese, you like this game. If you like money, you like this game. Trust me. Uh,
interesting.
it's a quick playing, fast timing card game designed for smaller groups of players. It's a time-based card game where you have a timer, and your goal is to collect as many coin cards as you can within the time limit. The challenge is all the different cheese effect cards that can either help or hurt your chances. But for the purposes of these questions, we're going to do a game within the game. Let me ask you this.
Yo,
Let me ask you this, Mike. Um, do you have you done like a horoscope or a tarot card reading, or do you know of those things?
I yes.
Okay, good. That's good. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a game within the game in the sense of that I'm gonna pull out some cards from the deck here, no cheese, no coin, and I'm going to give you a reading in the sense that we're going to determine what is your cheese type.
Oh, I'm into it. Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna shuffle here. So just like the people would do, whether you believe or not, whatever. It's your thing. What we're gonna do is you are going to pick a card from my hand. You're gonna use this hand to pick the card that you
Okay.
speaks to you, the one that draws to you.
Um,
Oh, that one almost dropped.
oh,
Oh,
hold on. Stop your hand a second. Move
okay.
it over to your, wait, hold on. This would be your right. So
It,
move it to
it
your right.
this way. Is that you want that? Do you want that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that's like jutting out most. No, no, to the other side, other side. A little more. The other way.
This one?
Wait, hold on. Yeah. Nope.
No?
Nope. Like
No?
it's in the middle. It's kind of like jutting up a little bit.
Oh, this one?
Little, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's you have drawn a Swiss vision card.
Oh,
Ooh. I feel that. I feel that. I like
is that the cheese of choice?
that's one of the cheeses of choice. In the game, this card allows you to look at the next 5 cards in the deck, so you can kind of prioritize. I'm keeping that in. It helps with your strategy. Um,
Nice.
so it's a good card. It's a good cheese. I like Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese is pretty solid. Not my
It
favorite
is.
cheese, but it's solid. And it's got little glasses there and little holes. So
I
it's
like
kind of
his design.
thank you, thank you. Thanks to Selena. She's the one who designed this card game.
Oh,
So
cool.
Selena Studio, recommend her. But okay, there you go. It makes sense. It makes sense. You're a Swiss cheese vision card.
Yes,
Nice.
I feel that I am.
I feel it. I feel like you're very Swiss.
Swiss is one of the cheeses that I actually get a lot of the time. I was gonna be very devastated if I had like American cheese or something because I
Ooh,
simply not a fan.
okay, that's fair.
Gouda, solid.
We have a Gouda cheese in this game.
Munster, also good.
We also have Munster.
Classics,
Those are all
all good.
classics. What's a good piece of advice for people who want to join the wacky, wacky world of broadcast media?
It's a good question. Be sociable. Learn how to communicate with people. Don't be afraid to talk to people, especially people that you have never met before, or people that have like um people that carry like popularity or like stardom with them. Don't be afraid to approach them because you might end up making friends with them and you might end up making contacts with them, and that can really make your experience as a person a whole lot better. Never sell yourself short. Always exemplify the great things that you have done. Um, but also never do anything that you do not want to do.
Very cool. Very wise words there. Very good advice for those that are watching and listening here on These Are Questions there. Closing off at the end of our These Are Questions interview, but I just have one more question to ask you, Mike. Would you be interested in hosting a live trivia night? And if so, what type of trivia would you base the trivia on?
Ooh. Um, hmm. Short answer, yes. Long
Okay.
answer, if I was to host a trivia night, I would probably want to host it on probably like m music history, but like American musical history,
Okay.
and kind of like gauging um like basically trivia about um pop culture type of music, less of the avant-garde stuff, more stuff that people are more or less familiar with. Probably gauging from like uh the turn of the century in the 1900s through like just the entirety of the 1900s through the early 2000s probably.
Okay. Very cool. Very
20th
cool.
century, as people would say, if you weren't a robot in human skin.
Hmm. Yeah, very much so. That's a good name for a band, Robot and Human Skin.
Nice.
You're nice.
Yo, thanks. Right back to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
We are at the end of our These Are Questions interview. Mike, it was a pleasure speaking with you on These Are Questions. But right now, the internet floor is yours. Anything you want to talk about, anything you want to promote, anything you want to do here on These Are Questions before we sign off, the floor slash internet floor is now yours.
Oh man. Woo, I have a whole soapbox to stand on, huh?
Mhm.
Um, things I want to promote.
If you have any, you may not have any.
I
You could you could say whatever you want or do whatever you want,
oh
or
man.
uh, it could be anything, or it could be nothing. I
Um,
can't stop you.
hmm. Okay. So if there was one thing that I would want to promote, it was this short film that I came out with in 2021. So to give you like a very, very brief snippet about what this 10-minute long video is, it's like this guy that lives like in an efficiency, and he also has like agoraphobia and refuses to go outside, but the more his condition worsens, like his mental condition worsens, like the more the literal room falls apart too. And it's just like it's not a feel-good movie at all. Art represents time eras. Time eras give ideas for art. And I think that if I did not make that film, then we would not have had that. It's called Enclosure. Um, it's a good time. I think it's one of my better works that I've made.
Okay, cool.
So
I have to check it out, and what we'll do is that we'll put a link to it. If you have a link to it, you can send it to me. I'll put it in the description on below, so people that are watching, listening, can view that short film. So I'll definitely give a check out.
awesome. Many thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And just like that, we are at the end. The only thing I have to just say left is that for those that are watching and listening to These Are Questions, we greatly appreciate your viewership. Thank you so much for keeping the show continuing as it is with my absurdity and stupidity. And thank you again, Mike, for being a part of These Are Questions. And with that, you have been watching / listening to These Are Questions. Have a good day, everyone.